Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss different topics, questions, advice, and more about turning 29. I just turned 29 yesterday. As of filming, it is the day before my birthday, but as of posting, it is the day after. And I spent last night and early this morning going through different questions and topics and things I wanted to write down for this. And there's 29 of them, and then there's 29 just little advice that I'd want to give myself before this time. So it is all written down right here in my phone so I don't forget anything or stumble over my words. So if I'm looking down reading it or something, just know I'm trying to make sure I stay on topic. I wanted to make sure when I saw the different questions and things to talk about that I want to answer them right away instead of looking at them when I'm filming, so I'm not thinking too much in the moment and not giving myself the time to really answer them truthfully and how I want it to be seen. So I was kind of up till like 2 in the morning doing this because I was just on it because I wanted to film. So let's see, where am I gonna start? My font is very small because I copy and paste some of the questions. So to start is what mattered most to me this year and why, and finding who I truly am. I didn't fully figure it all out yet, but I'm working towards that. So that's what's really mattered to me, is I'm kind of in the transition period of really figuring out who I am and who I want to be and what I want to do in this world. So that is what mattered to me most amongst many things. Number 2, when did I feel most like myself? Honestly, creating these videos, I made it a goal earlier this year to do a video every Sunday on this channel. Obviously, this was a deal I wanted to do with Corey, and as of right now, most of you know the situation. We're trying to film when we can. I'm hoping to film a bit more. With winter coming around, he won't be working on Saturdays and Sundays as often, so we'll be able to do a little more stack filming to get a few more in there, especially Christmas. I plan it being in every video, so we'll see how that goes. But really creating the videos, I've had a lot of these ideas for years because we posted a video back in 2020. That was our first video on the channel. And I've always loved back then's YouTube world. I was very much into all of the YouTubers and stuff. And I've always wanted to do it myself, but I was way too insecure back then, and I still am. But I think just doing it is what's got me here. So number 3, what did I learn about my limits and how did I respond? So I have so many limits, as many do. Many I don't know about. And I learned that I can come over like the worst of my limits and still most days enjoy those days, because you can't let what you're limited to really get you down. So, there's hair on my phone. I just want to try to focus away from that. Alright, number 4. When did I feel most at home physically, emotionally, and spiritually? So, and honestly, this is more of the spiritual aspect and emotional. There's plenty we've gone through this past year and in general. A lot of this is referring to the past, 29 years of my life, but a lot of this is just in the past few years of my life when I've really focused in on things. And I have to say, like, anywhere outside when I'm under the stars, I've always been into not necessarily space and all of those things. Like, I don't want to work in that world. It's more just I've always admired the beauty of stars and the moon and seeing the planets. And I don't know why, it's just how I've been. I do enjoy the zodiac world. Obviously, none of that you can't prove, nothing we know, but it's fun to find what your zodiac is and kind of see what the world has to say about it. But yeah, so I try to find and go see any like events happening in space, so like meteor showers. We just recently had the Northern Lights in the Midwest here, so we were actually able to visibly see them. Some with the naked eye, and also mostly it was just through the camera. Yeah, just this past, like 2 weeks ago, I believe, the Northern Lights were visible. And my mom's friend of hers was actually gonna do like a little barbecue the second night of it, because we were able to see it for 2 nights. The first night I could see it just outside, and we're in town. We're not in like a big city, but we're in a town, so there's still like a lot of lights, and so I wasn't able to see much of all the colors, but I could see all the reds, and I could see a hint of green at one point. And then the second night, just through the camera, I could see the greens and like purpley colors. But we went out the second night, which was supposed to be better, but it wasn't, honestly, at least not at the hours we went. But we were up north, which was a lot more, and like they have a lot of farmland up there, and it was like pitch dark where we were. I was standing in a field, had my camera set up, trying to get cool shots, and sadly it probably wasn't going to get to peak until way later. If it did in our area, it was moving that night. So either way, I was able to see the whole Milky Way. Like I could see all the planets. And then I actually saw 2 shooting stars. I think the only time I ever saw a shooting star was like when I was really young, maybe on a camping trip. I don't really fully remember, and I think maybe possibly one other time when I was like 16, and that was just random. But yeah, so I could just stand outside and stare up at the stars, and that's just somewhere where I feel like very safe in a way and at home. All right, number 5. We're gonna start getting a little more deep here, but it's one of my grieving that I haven't fully named yet. I have named it, but not that much, obviously, and it was obviously the baby that I lost last year. I was only about 8 weeks when it happened. I didn't even have a doctor's appointment yet. There was one set for, I think it was 2 weeks after the loss. So some people say, well, nothing was there yet. Some people like to tell you that it was too early, you didn't see it, at least you didn't know the gender, you didn't know this, blah blah blah. But that I told myself this because I know people that lost around the same time and they were further along to where they had to have it physically removed. I didn't have to go through that. I just had to go get blood tests to make sure my levels were down. Like, I in a way feel lucky because I didn't have to go through the worst of it, but it still was horrible, and I don't think I'm ever gonna stop grieving it. Either will Corey. It was our first child. So it's just something that I don't think is ever gonna go away. And that's just something we had to accept, and it is what it is. Let's see, number 6. This question kind of confused me, but it's what relationships nourished me and which ones drained me. So when it comes to being nourished, I was trying to understand what they were asking me, but my marriage is probably the most nourished thing. We have spoken a lot more about things in the past 2 years, well, since we've moved and got married and everything, but with a lot of the traumatic stuff we've gone through, we've spoken more deeply about things, about what we like and what we don't like in the relationship, personally, in the couple, whatnot. And there's topics that we hit that we kind of never want to talk about because there's things everyone doesn't really want to speak about. Personal preference things, stuff like that. You don't want to speak on it because it's just something you don't want to go there with. But since trying to have a child and doing what we've been doing in life, we've really communicated more than ever. And then other things that nourished me, other like relationships, I would say our community. We aren't really involved. We've been here for 5 years now almost when we moved. And we're also just not people. Like, we just like to stay home, play video games, and be with each other and see the family that's around. But we aren't involved in like church, whatnot. We have the few through other connections, like through my mom and through my grandma and through work, whatnots. And when we lost the baby, we didn't know people were talking about it through our family. And they reached out to people, and we ended up receiving multiple things at our front door. We didn't know they were coming, no one told us, and it was like essentials. So like paper towels, toilet paper, cleaning supplies, some food and snacks that were our favorites, and dog treats, dog food, multiple things to just help us out and really stock us. We still have a few things left from a year ago that we got. We got like multiple things of like laundry pods and stuff. Like we still have a lot of things, and I still don't know. Most of the people didn't even know who I was. They knew me through other people. And then we had some people just gift money and gift cards and just reach out that way. We also had someone pay off our hospital bill because we didn't have insurance at that time, and with the ER visit was honestly the most expensive. I was able to get financial help for paying them off, and I started paying them off already that time, both the ER and just the main clinic, but it wasn't gonna happen anytime soon. It was over $1,000, but someone went and paid that off. And then we had someone through work reach out to their own church members, and they do like a sponsored, who like you get to nominate people to help their family, and they nominated us. And like I said, we don't go to church and we don't go to this church, and they ended up picking us. None of them know who we are. Only people that know who we are the people we work with that recommended us. And then we received this check to help with bills and whatnot. So it's just amazing what you don't know who's there for you, and then all of a sudden it just kind of happens and people are really willing to help. The last thing about like nourishment, it would be my family. Obviously both mine and Corey's family, but just personally, my family, specifically like my sibling relationships, there was a lot of rockiness with some of my brothers. I have 3 brothers. And as in the past, this is just the past few months, apologies has happened. We're trying to work better on those relationships. There was a lot of things on both ends that really caused a lot of stress, and I really do see the growth there, so I'm hoping it'll just get better. And then for the relationships that drained me, I honestly would just say the relationship with myself this past year and the past years, because I really don't know who I am when it comes to, you put so much into your career thoughts and whatnot growing up, and you really just don't know. So I honestly think that I've drained myself. So right now the draining happens because I don't know what I'm doing work-wise. I don't know what I'm doing family. Trying to start a family is harder than I ever expected. I knew it'd be hard, but I didn't know this was gonna happen to us. Stopping school. And it's honestly just feels like I blame myself for all of that, and I'm trying to work on that. So that's really what's been draining me. Number 7, what did I stop pretending to be okay with? Okay, so this is honestly just a big thing with being a student and going to college and stuff. I really stopped pretending that I could be a student because I honestly sucked at it. Like I never was a good student. Like it's just not in me. I also just I just didn't stop pretending that I wanted to do the job I was working towards, but I just don't think I ever could do it because you need all the schooling and degrees and license, and my brain just doesn't want to do that. So I had the realization that no one really like cared that I was doing it or not, because it was all just in my head. I was making myself do it, even though I hated it. So I had to really pretend that I was probably not going to be that amazing career woman in this big career that was going to make us a lot of money, and it's just not what it is. I can be simple and live a great life and not do something that's going to make me miserable. So I really don't want the career aspect to be my main goals anymore. I made that kind of decision when all this happened last year, because I stopped school literally around the same time the miscarriage happened, and then I just continued to not go back because I just realized I was actually happier. All right, number 8. This is gonna take a long time. It's gonna be a long video, guys. It's only already been like 16 minutes. What's something small that made a big difference this year? I think it's small, but it can be a huge thing, and it's just changing your mindset to just enjoy life as much as possible. Can really change things. 2 years ago I told Corey, after we went, I think it was when we saw Beetlejuice, the Broadway show, I was like, I really want to do like some type of adventure every year. It doesn't need to be go spend a lot of money or anything crazy. It's just something to do. Like last year we went and did this past summer we went and did something. We've actually gone to another few plays. It's just been something just to help get us out there. Right, number 9 is what's one truth I couldn't see last year but feels obvious now. So obviously last year was a lot, and everyone always says that time heals everything, and honestly, it doesn't heal all wounds, in my opinion. Over time it will get a little easier, but in reality, if you've gone through a miscarriage or loss of a child, I don't think people understand how much weight that holds on you in all the ways it could. And it's every day. Like, I think about it every day, multiple times a day. Unless I'm really trying to distract myself or I have a busy full-on day, it always pops in my head at least once. So I think that's the truth behind it, is time doesn't heal all wounds. And I don't think it ever will. It's always gonna be there. Number 10, how did I surprise myself? Well, this is also overall. So the past 29 years of my life were kind of crazy in my own world. Obviously others are crazier. I was a very shy, not confident, had no self-confidence at all growing up. I hated the way I looked, the way I talked, the way I did everything. Like, I didn't want to speak up, I didn't want to talk back at people, I didn't want to get in trouble, I didn't want anything that happened to me. I was a huge people pleaser, and I didn't want to let anyone down, which just honestly created more hatred for myself. So the way I surprised myself for that is probably the past 5 years since we moved, since COVID, because that's around the time when we left California, is I really just try not to give a crap about what anyone else thinks. Obviously there's a certain extent to that because it's kind of hard not to care what other people think, but I try really hard not to give a crap about certain people, and I think that's really helped me and has been very surprising to me because it has helped me and my relationships. Because why struggle more when life could just be a little easier with some hard change? Number 11, what version of me am I proud to have let go of? Back to the career path me. Like, I was trying to be a student. I was trying to do that dream that I wanted since I was like in 8th grade. And it was just hard to be a student. And I just kind of sucked at it. Like I said, it's the main area that I procrastinated in. I was very focused on other things, and I wanted to do other things before I ever did schoolwork, even though that should have been the priority, and it just wasn't for me. But like, there's just like the weird alignment of ending my school career and losing my first baby. Like, the worst time of my life, but also the most big relief at the time was not having to do schoolwork anymore. It was just kind of surprising, but also something I really needed to let go, and I'm proud that I finally said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep adding money to the debt, adding to the debt, and I don't want to just do this anymore. So number 12, what helped me feel grounded when everything was too much? Honestly, Corey, he's truly my rock and everything, and our relationship started as a true friendship to best friends to being a couple. I just couldn't have asked for a better person to share my life with. All right, so number 13 is what's one habit or pattern I'd like to release with compassion? I also kind of didn't understand this question a bit. It was kind of worded weird. So from what I'm taking it as is, what is something I do that I need to release like kindly and not just like aggressively, I guess. And that's more like my avoidance in doing something that needs to be done first instead of doing other things right. This is my schoolwork situation. This is just a lot of things. Like, the example could be like, I'm gonna go clean the mirrors in the entire house before I do laundry because I hate doing laundry. And that's what needed to be done though that day. So that's just like a small example of that, but there are plenty of other things I should be doing instead of honestly maybe filming a video or watching TikToks for too long. So there's just a lot that I need to work on with that, and I need to just tell myself kindly that it's a good to do this thing, but I really need to do this other thing that's way more important, so I don't beat myself up later because I didn't do that thing first. So that's habit patterns that I need to work on. Let's see, number 15. Oh, I skipped a number. Number 14. What kind of rest did I give myself, and what kind do I still need? So I'm resting the pressure to fit into a specific box. I grew up either you get married right away and have kids, or you make a whole career path, go to school, do all these things. Like, that's the way I feel that I had to go one of the way. It wasn't pressure from family and other people. It was more on my own and the world I was living in that time. And a way to kind of get out of my own reality with it. So yeah, I think that's what I need to do. So I think I really need to just I put so much pressure on myself that I need to just take a break and, you know, just let the universe do its thing and just make the most of what I have right now. Number 15 is, when did I feel most alive and most lost? So, kind of a loaded question in my opinion, and if this is like about my whole life, but really I'm answering with what's been happening and everything. And what I feel most alive is when I travel with Corey and with the dogs and everything, because it gets us out of what we're doing at home. And a lot of times when you're home, you just sit in a lot of that sadness that you're in. So like last year, or this past summer, we went to the Harry Potter expedition in Utah and then traveled to see the Garden of Gods and stay in a cabin in Colorado on the way home. Just like going and doing that, it just brings me so much joy because we're experiencing new things and we're doing it together. And I love documenting that. Because I always, every time I go and look back or have like memories pop up on Facebook or something, like, I'm just so excited to see it. Because I'm like, oh, we did that. Like, I can't believe that was this year. Like, I feel like that was 2 years ago. It's like crazy. But yeah, this goes back to doing at least one fun adventure thing a year. Because I just really want to have that to look forward to, you know? Let's see. When I'm most lost, well, back to, it's gonna come up a lot. When we lost the baby, it was so uncertain at that time because I didn't know, is this my body? Is this his body? Is this the way I eat? Is this the way I don't work out? Is it the way I grew up? Is it because I didn't go to the doctors? Because I don't take care of myself? There's all the, is it this, why did it happen to me? Like, what did I do to make this happen? And we don't know still, so you can't know. I still have a period, I still ovulate, so there's still something in there. So we just have to keep trying and hope for the best. But yeah, that was when I felt the most lost, because then the school thing stopped. I kind of was like, well, what am I doing? And then just this past month, when we both lost our jobs, there's just so much more uncertainty. Luckily he's working and we're good with that. I'm figuring it out. Number 16 is, what boundaries did I set or do I wish I had? That's something I also always struggled with because my people pleaser problems. Excuse me. So there's plenty of boundaries I set, even if it was just on my end and they don't really know about it, but I don't really care. Blocking people is always a fun thing to do because sometimes you just don't want to even see their things. And you could, or just like unfollow, but it's still like you could see them or something, you know, other medias have it, but social media is very hard to not see something you don't want to see every day. So I think setting the boundaries with that and myself was always smart. There's certain people that I just don't like, to ensure I wasn't getting used or attacked for reasons I couldn't control. It's all emotional. Mainly, there's no physical attack. It's all emotional attack, mental attack, you know? So I really wish I set a lot of these boundaries like a long time ago with specific people, but some of it's just not in my hands and I can't avoid it, so it's just what it is. But yeah. So number 17, what do I want to carry forward in the next year no matter what? I think it's just that bad things can happen in life, like really bad things, and it's just really your mindset that's going to make it easier. To have that right mindset and to have the right people on your side, you could figure it out. You can get through it. It's just, everything takes time, and they always say. So let's see, number 18. What does success mean to me right now? Success right now is honestly just being happy in myself, like within myself, and having a healthier mindset. I think will end up bringing more success in all other realms of my life. Number 19 is what kind of love or support am I ready to receive more of? I think just more kindness to our situation, understanding of our situation and our choices in our life, and just like less judgment. There's judgment from people that they may not say it outright, but I know they're thinking it, or I've heard it from other people, and I just really wish it wasn't a thing. And then number 20, this is the last of our like question styled, is what's one thing I want to promise myself before this next year begins? I really want to promise myself that I can give myself grace in these hard times, because I just really beat the crap out of myself and blamed myself, and I didn't want to talk to anyone. I really want to talk about it, but you never know the response you're gonna get, so that's scary. And that wasn't really within my family and friends, it's more the outside world. But also I want people to know that other people are going through it, and you gotta discuss it, or it's just nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna get easier if you bottle it up. So I know being happy, honestly, in my opinion, is a choice. I don't like the phrase of it's harder to frown than it is to smile. No. My resting face is a frown, so it's a lot easier not to really smile all the time. I always hated the just smile more thing, but you're doing great at everything else, but just smile more. That's gonna shut me down even worse. So it's always like I need to make that choice to just smile and be happier instead of choosing to be angry and sad. Because you can choose to really be angry and sad at the world and everything. But I really want to do better in my mindset this coming year. So for the last 9 things, there kind of be like goals, advice to discuss and everything. So number 1 to number 21 in the topics is financial goals. Obviously we both just lost our jobs, and right now I'm not working fully. I'm trying to figure out some side stuff, but there's a lot of bills that we got, luckily we're able to push back. So like our mortgage, we were able to pause it for 3 months. My loans, I was somewhat able to take down a bit. Like my main school loan, I was able to lower from like 500 to 100 something a month. I was able to pause it for a month, so we had time to catch up. And then some other things we were able to figure out. But we also have credit card debt, and that's honestly from travels. Like 2 years ago when we went to visit our families in California for Disneyland and all this, it was mainly we drove there, so just the traveling there. We used a rover person to watch our dogs for us when we went to the parks with his family. Luckily we didn't have to pay for going to the amusement parks, but that obviously added up, and we did use a credit card for that just so we could enjoy the time and not feel stressed about the money. Obviously now here it is, but that's life. It builds credit is what they always say, but it's stressful. I've seen a lot of people, especially recently someone on TikTok that literally made her page about paying back her bill, her loan, her credit card debt, and she had like over 40,000 of it. I have over 45,000 just in school loans, probably 50,000 if you count through the government, and then also just through personal bank loans I had to get. So I really want to try, maybe make it a series I do on TikTok, like every day find stuff to sell, or I put money in the beginning. It's going to be hard because right now without working, but I really want to make it a thing, even if it's like starts every 3 days or weekly, to try to pay off that. I would like to pay off credit obviously, but I think that's more daunting with how big it is. And the bank ones I could pay off a lot sooner, so I think I would start with my bank ones. But yeah, that's for like the financial goals of it all. The financial stress is probably the biggest stressor in the world. I don't know, in any relationship and in yourself, money is the worst thing. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to hear about it. It just starts problems, and we, at least since the beginning, have always talked about money, so it was always something we knew was part of it. So it just hits people different, and I always want to improve on that, and I really want this to work out, filming and making videos, so we can at least get something in somewhere else. But obviously I'm not working towards that only. I just really want to have a community that we can do these type of videos and just discuss. It's probably gonna be an hour long because I'm talking a lot, but I really want people to know more and ways that you can make your life easy. Number 2 would be travel and experience things. So this is, as I've already stated, once a year I want to go do something. Try to not spend much money, but I already have next year's planned and it's already credit paid for. But that's because starting in January, I'm starting giving Corey 30 days till he turns 30 in February. And one of his gifts is this location we are going to with this experience. And that's happening in May of next year. So there will be a video every day. I'm for sure gonna do it on TikTok. I'm thinking about posting it on Shorts so it can be seen on YouTube as well to help the audience over here build up. So yeah, look out for that because I'm really excited about it, because now I have every gift. I'm doing like that punch the cups and like take out the number thing, and he like picks the one that he picks out thing. And I just finished making that this week because I just didn't want to think about it, because that way the time comes, I just set it all up and we can start, because I have everything purchased. And this was purchased before we lost our job. So I just got my last gift for him 2 days ago, along with this experience that I did. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. So number 3 is health and wellness. I really just want to get healthier, not just for trying to have a child, but myself. Every year I always tell myself I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna work out. And like this past summer, I was doing, like I do the Ring Fit on Nintendo, because I don't want to go out. And it's either too hot or too cold. So I was doing really well. I actually did it every day during the week for like 2 weeks straight. And then I just, once you get home from an 8-hour shift at work, and then once you're home, you kind of just want to chill and play video games. You don't want to go and work out. So I really want to do that, and I want to eat better. I've already been trying to do that since we've been having a baby. Like I've cut out certain things, and that's more so just for my own mindset, and really hoping that will help with other things that's going on. And like I have terrible acne, always had terrible acne, and I really hope maybe eating healthier will help that. That could be also part of my pH value, all that stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. I really need to go get a full checkup. I haven't gone and got a full checkup from the doctor since I was under 18. Yeah, it's been that long. And it's not safe, but luckily I haven't had anything bad happen to me until this miscarriage. And even then they didn't do any full checkup, just it's gone. So here we are. But yeah, so number 4 is hobbies and activities. I really want to learn to cook better. Sorry, there's a loud car going by. But yeah, so ever since Corey got his job, he's been working till like 7 to 8 at night, and he'll come home, and he used to be the cook. Like he still cooks, but I don't cook. Before him, I knew how to cook ramen, and usually I did it in the microwave. I didn't even start the stove because I don't want to deal with fire. And I can make things in the microwave. Like I never really cooked, I never did that. Until I was with him, I learned a lot from him, from his mom, and then at my job I learned how to do a lot of food stuff from my supervisor, because I was working in a bakery cafe, so I was doing some cooking there. So I have learned a lot there too. I'm a little more comfortable around, like the stove, I'm not scared anymore about that, but or the oven as much. I don't want to get burned. It scares me. But yeah, so I've already had him like teach me things. I looked up recipes, like crock pot recipes to make my life a little easier. I've had him teach me how to make his burgers last weekend, actually, because he used to make burgers for us. He would mix them himself and just cook them in the cast iron. I've never used the cast iron. I'm like, that's his thing. I don't want to mess it up. So he taught me how to use it. He taught me how to clean it, how to cook them. So hopefully I can actually do burgers for us, and eventually he's going to teach me how to make steaks. So I can also make the steaks for us. Obviously during the summer we have barbecue and he'll teach me that too, but he did teach me how to use my grandma's barbecue, so when he's not there on Sunday night, because we do dinners at Sunday night at my grandma's, and they want to cook burgers or something, I know how to use her barbecue. So I really want to learn more and be a lot more confident. I'm so, like, with taste, I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. I can't handle spice, but he can, so it's like I don't really know how to flavor things correctly yet, but I'm getting better at that. And then this is the most I've talked in a long time. Another thing I want to learn is how to use power tools. The few times I've used like a power drill, I freaked out and it like shook and like flew out of my hand because I just like don't realize how powerful it was. And I think that's been like twice, like one time with my mom and one time with Corey, and usually he does it. But obviously if he's not around, I want to be able to do stuff and not have to wait for him because that's not fair. Screw gender norms, I don't care. I want to be able to do it all too and be able to be more helpful, especially with possible renovating the house one day, you know. Let's see, number 5 excuse me, is facing a fear, which I really don't want to talk about it because then I start getting anxious. But I don't have my driver's license. Yes, I am 29 years old without a driver's license. And that's due to my anxiety just being in the car comes with, but then being behind the wheel and being in control of a machine that could kill anyone, kill myself, kill my passenger, kill people around me. It's terrifying and I really don't like it. About 2 years ago, I got my permit. 3 years ago, I got my permit, even though I didn't technically need it because I was adult, but I wanted to see if I even knew the answers. It took me 3 tries. Even after I studied, but like I said, bad student. But then I really didn't get any practice time on the road because then it started being icy and snowy out. And then I kind of just like, I got away with not having to do it, so I just never did it. And then just like a month ago, the last time Corey tried to take me out to drive, we were just in a parking lot, empty parking lot at night, and he was teaching me like figure eight so I could practice my turns because I turned really fast the one time I did it, and the control of turning scares me and going faster because I didn't really know how to put much pedal, how much pressure on the pedal and stuff, so it was always scary. So we literally just didn't even touch the gas and we did a bunch of figure eights, not even like 2-3 figure eights in, and I had a full-on crying panic attack. I like stopped the car, I put in park, like he ended up putting in park, I just had my foot on the brake and I just like couldn't move. Like I was just sitting there crying my eyes out. It took like probably 5 minutes or so just to kind of get out of it, and I did end up continuing, but I was crying the entire time, but I was able to see at least. So I don't know why I have an issue with it. But yeah, so I really need to get my license. I really should. It'll help make life easier for all of us, especially if we can get another vehicle, because then I could actually take myself places and I could, in emergency, be able to drive us somewhere, or if we do go on car trips, I can actually help out, which is why I was trying to get my license 3 years ago for the Disneyland trip, but it didn't end up happening. So I'm getting anxious just talking about it. So yeah, I just don't want to have that control, but I need to do a lot more exposure with that, and hopefully it's winter now, so we'll have to wait until spring. Yay, some time to wait. But I really need to get my license. But yeah. So number 6 is home improvement. We have lived in this house, owned this house, we own it because we're homeowners, for 3 years now, and we've done a lot of improvements when it comes to like painting, like the walls, the frames of the, like the boards, frame boards. Well, I can't talk. The frames and stuff of the house, just kind of make it more appealing to our eyes. And like our bedrooms were painted since we moved in day 1, because I got that painted when we moved in, and I've learned Corey hates to paint, so that's why I've been painting everything. It's okay, he fixes everything else. So But like we've done little every now and upgrades. Like we replaced the faucets, we got a new toilet because that thing was nasty. We've like hung stuff up decorating wise, but the kitchen is honestly the one room that really has not been dealt with at all. Like we have full-on plans and ideas for it. Design-wise, we know what we want to do in there. It just obviously costs money and time. Obviously we'll do a video on whenever we do that. Kind of hoping in January to start. It has like wood paneling and painted over wallpaper. And kind of January is kind of a slower time. Like I said, the kitchen, it doesn't represent us like at all. Yeah, there's knickknacks and stuff in there that we like and that we made it work. We got magnets, we got organization, we got all the tools we need, but the walls, the floor is like 3 or 2 layers of this crappy whatever it is. I don't know. The dogs ripped it up when we first got them. So a lot of it's ripped up. So we have like mats on the floor trying not to make it worse. And I just really hate being in the kitchen. I want to film more in there, but I don't like being in there because it just looks horrible. And it's already small as it is, and we don't have much storage. So there's like the spot where like the microwave sits and there's like cupboards there, but I really want to take it all down and just put shelves. So the microwave can sit back on the shelf with the toaster next to it like it is. But then we could have shelves for not only more display, but also for display of like certain plates and stuff. Like more we don't. It's like we have a lot of cool cups and whatnot and stuff like that. And I also want to be able to put my cookbooks out on display. We have so many like video game and like movies and stuff. Cookbooks that I want to go more into. I think I've mentioned in other cooking videos we've done, but I really want to be able to put them on display so I can actually utilize them. Right now they're on the top shelf in one of the cupboards and they're hard to get to. So hoping this coming year we can do that and focus on that because that would be really cool. Number 7. So I don't know if, like I've mentioned already in the video, the Zodiac World. I have that app called CoStar that does like your alignment with you when you were born, all that stuff. And I was like, oh, I wonder what it'll say for my birthday, which you won't know because this is posted, I'm filming this the day before. But I did this the day I'm filming this, the day before my birthday, and it literally popped up saying, happy almost birthday. 29 is the year you give yourself a hard-earned break and as many naps as you want. This year, your task is to have the courage of your mistakes. Let yourself be a mess. One day it will make sense. When things have to work out, they will work out. Own your hurt. Remember who and what you are. As you embark into the next year, ask yourself, if it is meant to be, who am I to change that? Time to believe it. And that's just crazy. With what it said. And I wasn't even expecting it to be there because I was expecting to find day 28 of November because that's usually what it tells me. So it's kind of weird how it popped up when that happened, but yeah, interesting. I've been saying a lot about the mindset, and if things are meant to be, they are. Please don't tell people that when they lose a child because it does not help. If it's meant to be, it'll happen when it happens. It's just not something I want to hear. Because you don't know. It may never happen. You don't promise that. But yeah, so this is more saying, though, if it's meant to be, who am I to change that? That's a bit more different of a statement. So I'm going to work on that. Alright, number 8 is, I've actually just, it's always been a thing, but in the past few months, it's like the thought on birthdays is it's actually the age you turn is the age you've already lived. So I've already lived 29 years. And I'm technically going to be like turning 30, but then I'll already live my 30th year. So I'm going into my 30th year of life and let's make the most of it. So our last 29 things to talk about, number 29, is actually going to be 29 advice thoughts that I just kind of came up with. I kind of didn't know what's going because this was the original idea for this video, was to kind of just like things I would give myself advice on, 29 things, and I couldn't think of a single thing. So I do have to do some research to kind of figure it out. But then as I started going, like I had a few ideas that I saw. I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that. That is advice I would have given myself, type of thing. But then as I started writing, I just was like, oh, I guess I had more thoughts in my brain than I originally thought. So we're just gonna kind of go through them. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say yes. Don't focus on the negatives in life. Find your happiness, not others. Respect has always been a huge part in like my life motto and in my marriage. So choose to respect others, respect yourself, and only accept those who give you respect. Have fun. Enjoy the little things. Find your core people and hold on tight to them. It's okay to fail. I've done it a lot. Learn from it and don't avoid it. Take chances by moving out of your home state, going to that concert, applying for that job, or speaking to that person. You never know what little action can create a whole chain reaction. Find your favorites, from your color to the day of the week, your holiday, your season, favorite smell, favorite meal, snack, drink, hobby, location, person. That happiness will stick with you and give you something to look forward to when you experience seeing those favorite things and to enjoy those favorite things. Be vulnerable with your emotions. It's not weak, it's strength. We all have trauma. Some just hide it better. Be honest with yourself, because not everyone is going to be honest with you. Trust with caution. Life is hard. Make the most of the best times. Take the picture. Film the clip. Looking back on them will keep the memory alive. Truly find things you love about yourself and celebrate them. Sometimes you are your biggest and your only cheerleader. Find time for those you care about. Be kind. Be honest. Take the vacation. Find the time to do that thing you've always wanted to do, even if you do it alone. Be safe. The world is a scary place. Communicate with friends, family, your partner, your kids, all of them. Don't hide the truth. It will come out one way or another. Find the positives and the negatives. And for number 29, don't give up. That's all I have to say for this, and it honestly was a really big reflection, going back and really thinking about everything the past years of my life and my whole life. And I've never felt so like in tune with who I am and everything as I have in the past year, and especially right now. And hopefully this resonates with some people, and maybe we can get a few people to subscribe and join us on this journey of figuring life out. And hopefully I can make more content that people enjoy, because I enjoy it. I always find time to figure something out, to make something for others to enjoy. But that's it for now. Hopefully we'll see you next week, and hopefully Corey will be here, because it is almost Christmas, and that is one of the best times of year for some people. Not for everyone, so don't push it on people. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.